Hi, I'm Anthony Amorello, and this is the Paving New Roads podcast. We're coming to you from the Yondes Penthouse on Sunset Strip in West Hollywood, California. And today I'm talking to Brittany Santangelo about her journey through fitness and how she started working with some of the biggest athletes in today's game. Thanks for tuning in.
I did not know I was funny.
I just wanted to be funny.
I like with psycho.
Twice as good as Spielberg.
I don't know what your podcast is called, but it would be like Paving New Roads.
Where did you grow up again?
Orange County, California.
Orange County, California. And who were you living with when you were a kid?
Both my parents until they get separated, and then Pops moved to Kentucky, and all my summers were spent in Kentucky since '98.
Spent in Kentucky in the summers. You never hear people vacationing in Kentucky. It's also a weird move. You never hear of someone moving to California to Kentucky. What do you move there for?
He just retired from the entertainment business and decided to buy a plot of land, build a house, and be a farmer.
Farmer. And are you a farm girl?
1,000%, absolutely.
What's the best part about farming? What do you like doing the most farming wise?
I just love the fact that it's like everything you raise and grow is like you know what you're putting in your body.
And that's all you do. You're fitness and health wellness. That's
pretty much.
That's the name of the game now.
Yep.
And then you went to school for that.
I did.
And what were you doing? What was that first job you were telling me about out of school?
Oh my goodness. I ended up getting a job. I was director of nutrition, supplemental protocol, and alternative wellness protocols.
I don't think I could spell three of those words. I gotta be honest.
For a sports medicine facility in Las Vegas. So we worked with a bunch of the UFC guys.
Can you say who?
No.
Damn. Top secret.
Yeah, no. So as far as that goes, yeah, no.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, no. So at first I was just like, oh my gosh, this is like my dream job. It's literally everything that I've worked super hard for. And, initially I'm just like, this is such an epic opportunity.
So why aren't you in Vegas anymore?
So it was just started off with like little things like that, and it
like what? Sorry.
Just wanted me to do things that were necessarily not within my scope of practice. Definitely have the knowledge and the ability, but I was like, I've worked way too hard like in school and then for all the certifications that came after to even do that. And then I was just like, how are you going to like request these protocols for people that could literally put people in the hospital?
So what is like a vitamin D shot do? Like
so
what I have no idea. And let's say my average listener, it looks like me. They don't have an idea.
For the average person, unless they're deficient, it could cause, damage to the liver, or it could create conditions that are just, like I said, we'll put them in the hospital and give them conditions that could potentially be irreversible.
And what are they? Why do they want these shots being given in the first place?
I don't know, and I don't know what his deal was, but then it was just the domino effect of things, and I was just like, he was out of his freaking mind. And lo and behold, long story short, I left and resigned just in time because I came to find out that the owner of one of the most sought after sports medicine facilities that almost all fighters
do your Googling at home, folks.
in the United States used for, to get their panels done before fights, or, without saying so, but the local basketball team and, even high schools, came to our facility, came to find out that this gentleman owed money to people all over Las Vegas. And
wow.
Even was having a doctor sign off on things that was not even with the company and hadn't been for a while. So he was forging the signature, and it was just so.
A business owner in Vegas being a scumbag? Who would have thought?
Yeah, it's just crazy. And then it was just like, then I had to go through a whole thing because, I had to file like a cease and desist because they were still using all my verbiage and all of my, some of my research and protocols like on their website.
Oh my God.
It was just like, it was crazy. And it was super, super discouraging because it was literally everything that I had worked for. It was like the beginning of like my dream job.
And so how do you bounce back from that? What was the move after you left there?
Whew. So that alone had put me in so much debt because on top of that,
That put you in debt?
oh yeah, no. So there was checks that ended up bouncing, money that
Oh,
wasn't paid
because he's a scumbag. Right.
across the board, and so I ended up kind of coming out of retirement and going back into modeling full time.
Okay.
To like literally get back on my feet and to come back from this nightmare.
And are you doing jobs outside of modeling? Or is it just modeling full time?
So yeah, no, I do now. I absolutely do have a handful of private clients. Some with the NFL, some with the NBA.
Oh shit.
So it's definitely I still have my hands heavy in sports medicine.
Yeah.
Just not on such a large scale. So I'm still doing both.
Do you
the
think
modeling.
you're ever gonna try to go back to a large scale?
Oh, absolutely. I would love to. I mean, that's the goal.
Okay.
So-
all right. Well, I'm sure you're gonna get there. But let's talk about some of these shitty jobs you had. What are because you said you had a bunch. So what are some of the other things you were doing before you got to a place where you feel comfortable to just have a handful of clients?
I mean, of course, you're freaking here in LA, and when you're in that line of work of modeling, you have crazy, weird agents, total creeps, and then on top of the fact that, I have very conservative beliefs and I'm very open about where I stand politically, that line of work is so liberal.
Sure.
And so it always comes up, and then they always, just want to question. I'm like, that's not why you hired me. Stay off my social media platforms and veer away from where I stand politically because I'm the best for the job. So why are you even questioning me?
Yeah, right.
Do you want the job done right or do you want the job done half-assed?
Wow.
Are we going to be in our feelings about what it is, where I stand, or do you want the job done? Do you want the best for the job or not?
This is like Michael Jordan-esque way of thinking about modeling. Yeah.
I'm like, what are we doing
What
here?
are some of the weirdest things that they've been weird about with your stances? Like you were just saying, do you want somebody that believes this or somebody to do the job? Like what is an example of that?
I think people just, they're just kind of skewed and they don't have perspective about things. So, when they see like that, like I said, I have very conservative beliefs, and where I stand politically is more veering towards the right.
Sure.
So they're like, oh, well, you must be a racist and this, that. And I'm like, whoa.
You guys are talking politics on set?
Well, no, and that was the thing. That's
That's crazy.
that it would come up, and I'm just like, what is happening here?
How does that even come up?
Right. How does that even have anything to do with this, athletic wear line or these jeans? What are you talking about?
They're like, wow, you're beautiful as Hillary Clinton. Like, what are they?
It'd be like,
how do they,
right? It would, and
how
then
do
it would
you
just
merge
be
the
citing
two?
it. It seems like you voted for Trump, so you must be a racist. I'm like, whoa. What does that have to do with the job? So it's like I was constantly having to put my foot down and on my own.
I just heard the Kentucky summers in you. That was crazy. That was
heard a little bit of the drawl.
Yeah. You went from like an Italian woman from Southern California to a farm girl that might key my truck. In one sentence.
That is hilarious. So it was like I was always having to, like, on my own, having to redirect and really kind of, like, as gracefully as possible because, I needed to keep the job. I wanted to hang on to these contracts. So I was on my own having to redirect the conversation in a very, with grace and poise and,
and you're just there because you need a paycheck.
Right.
Yeah. What were some of your go-to pivots away from these conversations? How'd you get out of them?
You know what? I know these are supposed to be like more high-waisted jeans, but I'm having it's not really kind of coming together in the back and it's slipping. Is there somebody who can grab a clamp for this shot?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Just start bring it right back to wardrobe.
Anything. And
Yeah.
so people would, it would always, come down. And I'm just like, come on.
Do you have a favorite product you've modeled for?
Not really. I've just.
Do you have a least favorite?
Oh, let me see.
I promise you they're not watching this podcast. You can
Oh,
say
no.
it.
I'm just trying to think because I'm just like, which one has been my absolute least favorite? Not that I can think of. It's all been
So they're all pretty bland to you. You don't care about it at all.
no, because the thing is if it doesn't align with kind of what I'm speaking on or even just my image or brand alone, then I'm not going to do it. And I've always stood pretty firm on that. Like if it doesn't align with Brittany, then I'm not going to.
What are some products that haven't aligned with Brittany?
So there's a lot of with different companies like GNC or whatever, and they really wanted to push certain weight loss stuff, along with the whole Ozempic thing. And from the very beginning, I've been no.
Yeah, you're not an Ozempic fan.
No, absolutely not. And I told people from the beginning, I'm like, this is going to destroy your body. The long-term effects are going to literally kill you.
And they're starting to come out now. Have you seen these?
Oh, yeah.
My buddy Steve Fury has a great joke, but it's true. This lady took Ozempic and then went to the doctor because she was having stomach issues.
Yeah.
And the doctor told her she was going to have diarrhea for the rest of her life.
Yeah, absolutely.
Imagine diarrhea for the rest of your life
That sounds like
because you
hell.
wanted to be skinny.
Yeah.
That's
It's
crazy.
crazy. Or I remember back in even 2021, it was a whole thing with CVS. They casted me for it, and they wanted me to push the vaccine. And so I had to call my agent, and I was like, "This isn't happening.
Really?
You're out of your damn mind.
Dang.
I'm not doing it. Well, this, that, and third. You don't have to."
Well, the agent just wants the 10%. He just wants you to make the paycheck.
And I
He
was
doesn't
like,
care.
"What are you doing? I'm not doing this."
Really?
And then they come back. They're like, okay, well, this is the rate that they're putting back on the table. They're coming back with. And I said, absolutely not. You could pay me $1 million. I'm not pushing that shit.
Wow.
It goes against everything I believe in as far as my Eastern medicine practices when it comes to health.
When you say Eastern, what do you mean by
very holistic, natural, pretty much just kind of using what the Lord put on this earth to heal and thrive.
Okay, give me an example. What's a go-to that you would just hand out information on the street everybody should do this, it's so simple.
Proteolytic systemic enzymes, and I swear it is the whole.
Say that 10 times fast.
Sorry, proteolytic systemic enzymes, and it's been my go-to, even during the whole pandemic thing. I swear by it. It's probably why I never got COVID. And I was okay, take this. It's going to shorten it. And then sure enough, a couple years later, people are like, oh, take nattokinase. It's the first ever found studied. If you take this, it's going to shorten the life and be able to. And I'm like.
And where do you find this?
So there's just one brand I use, and it's AST enzymes. I swear by them.
And where do you get it? Amazon?
I don't do supplements from Amazon. I don't trust it.
Why? You think people are?
I don't know. I'm just unless I contact the company and I'm like, do you guys have a store on Amazon? I won't do it.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
So
the hustle and bustle of modeling and turning down jobs. Is there any product you do want to work with?
Nothing that's on my bucket list or wish list right now.
You seem content as hell, man.
I mean,
It's
things are kind of I'm just rolling with the punches and riding the wave because so far I've been abundantly blessed. God just keeps putting these opportunities in my pathway to where I'm kind of able to balance, working as a holistic practitioner and working in sports medicine alongside with my background in cognitive behavioral neuroscience, and then balancing the modeling stuff. So it's balancing being a super nerd and a hot girl, it's okay.
It's a rare breed because I didn't understand 10 of those words you just said, but, you don't meet too many people. I think that's also why people probably attack you a lot, is because they're not used to a beautiful person having a real informed opinion.
Oh, absolutely, 100%, because I've never really been concerned about the attacks or judgments of others,
Yeah, of course.
So I've always been very vocal. and not shy about it. That's probably some of what's got me in trouble sometimes.
What do you think you're the most vocal about? Because
Well,
I know you do like a lot of autism awareness.
I do. My son is autistic, and that's kind of what put me on the path of going into neuroscience and specializing in the cognitive and behavioral aspect of the branches.
So the son is what started the passion.
Well, with the neuroscience aspect, because I just wasn't okay with what the doctors were telling me. I was
Okay.
like, this is my child. I am going to be the one who understands what's going on, and I'm going to see what works best for him. I'm not going to plug him in on a bunch of medicine and all this other stuff. So over the years, I learned a lot, and then even more so when I went back to school. So just to
Right.
really more so understand the brain.
Understand. And what have you come to understand about the brain?
I mean, there's just so much, and it's
What were those doctors telling you that you were like, that doesn't sound right, and then you did?
they
and
wanted to put him on like antipsychotics and stuff to, help calm the sensory meltdowns, and I'm like, the brain isn't even finished being developed. Like, how does that? I need it to make sense.
Yeah,
I
right.
need it to be very black and white, and for me to be able to be like, okay. But if there's even a part of me in it that questions it, then I dig like nose deep, and I dig it apart until it makes sense. And then it does. And there's been so much over the years where my son has done so much better. And then I started working with a bunch of other parents who didn't want to put their kids on medication and wanted to go more of like a holistic alternative wellness route as far as helping their kids, whether it be with the sensory meltdowns or becoming more verbal or just, behavioral stuff.
Sure.
And, I learned late. My son is about to be 21 now, so there definitely wasn't as much available research. But I was like, okay, if this is happening and this is happening, it starts over here. So if I do this, it was like this whole thing. And so through trial and error, it became a real blessing because I was able to come up with these protocols that across the board really did just help so many other kids like my son.
Yeah, absolutely. How long did you go to school for all these degrees?
So the sports nutrition and all of that was more like of a certification, but then like the neuroscience and stuff, that was like 4 years.
4 years.
Yeah.
And in 4 years, how old were you when you started?
So
Sorry, can I ask that?
You could ask whatever you want. I'm 40 now, so absolutely you could ask whatever you want.
Okay. All right. So how old were you when you started school?
So I went back to school when I was gosh, my brain is like probably like 34.
Maybe you're not as
33.
smart as we thought you were. This is crazy.
33,
Yeah.
34, and it was just like, and then after that, then it was like,
Wow. So 33, 34.
yeah, and then even after, I still,
So your son was like in school when you were doing this.
yeah.
So how were you paying? Is modeling paying all the bills at that point?
At the time, I was dating somebody who was in the NBA, so
Oh,
he's just like,
dang.
focus on being a mom in school, and
And you were like, focus on rebounding.
focus on staying healthy and not getting injured all the time. So and then ironically enough, because he couldn't stay healthy and save himself from being injured, I was like,
Oh, man.
and I'm like, I know what you need to do. I know what you need to do to be proactive. So when the inevitable happens, you snap back faster. Why aren't you doing it? Right? So that's what kind of like then took my like
Who knew you
holistic-
were dating Jason Tatum? No, I'm just kidding. Damian Lillard. You've almost come so close to naming so many cool people you've had contact with, and then you're leaving little Easter egg nuggets. But all right.
And then I was just like, oh my gosh, I want to go into sports medicine. I want to be the person that is like helping them. That in
Interesting.
case of the inevitable, they snap back faster.
And this is like a great, easy connection for you to have these like clients that you have now. Is that how you made that bridge? How did you get these clients you have now?
Kind of just, it all started with, there was this one gentleman that I was working with, and he was injured and could not snap back. And we started working together, and when he came back, he was almost doing better than right before he got injured. And
Wow.
yeah, so it was just like, he was just so grateful, and he was just like, I need you to go get legitimate for this. I need you to go in and get legitimate for this. You're great, but it's a liability. I can't put you on the map.
Yeah.
So I went ahead and got legitimate in that and got all my my papers, certifications, And then it was a word of mouth. And
You're like his Alex Guerrero, you know?
I love him.
Yeah, Tom Brady, that's my girl. I knew you loved
that.
it.
I love that guy. But yeah, and so it's like, it's funny because it's like, I always kind of compare it to like that one scene in Top Gun, you know, when she walks in and they're making all these cat calls, but then all of a sudden they realize she's not the best at what she does. She's the only one that does what she does. So they get quiet and they realize that they're better than what they were before. Like they hate me and at first, you know, because I'm like, I'm on them. And then I'm like, I'm always like, you know, I'm calling them. And that's why I like to also keep my client load small, because then I can give them the individual attention that they need.
Sure.
And I'm not, you know, overwhelmed with all of this, you know, because it's like their results, their recovery is my name.
What do you think that's the hardest part of working with these athletes, is everyone hates you at first?
So the hardest part is for them to be, because they look at me and they're immediately like being like, oh, there's no way. And then also working in a male-dominated world, you know, it's hard, you know, to look the way I do and to be smarter than
it's hard being beautiful, folks.
I mean, and I mean that in the most serious way possible. It's tough because they look at me and they immediately place judgment, and then they're like, there's no way. And then they realize that I'm smarter than them. I'm suggesting things that they're like, so they question it, but then it's like once they're like, oh, my guy's doing pretty good, you know.
Yeah.
All right, let me just, you know.
So you have coaches calling you like, hey, what do I got to do for this guy to get
well,
better?
that I just dealt with that. I had a coach with one of the universities out here, and he's calling. He's like, I don't know what to do. So, what do I do? What do I do? I was like, well, first you need to calm the fuck down and listen.
And here's my Zelle.
So yeah, it's pretty exciting though. I love it.
So like 5 years from now, ideally, what is the dream?
Oh my gosh, ideally, what is the dream? I mean, if I had it my way, I'd work for the Chargers.
The Chargers.
I mean, I'm an unhinged football fanatic, so.
And you just happen to pick a team that cannot win
Hey.
All right, we've been nice. I'll keep it friendly. You did enjoy my Tom Brady talk, so I will not.
Okay, but yeah, no, or even to just have my own practice.
To have your own practice.
You know, eventually, you know, or to be able to work with a team of people who are like-minded, who work and think and are actually passionate about it. Because people in the field, if they're not passionate, they do it by the book, and by the book, it's total crap.
Yeah.
It's absolute crap.
Yeah, you got to cut some edges. Everybody's watched a dirty cop movie, you know what I mean? Yeah. If somebody wanted to hire you, how do they go about that?
So, it's crazy because a lot of people just contact me through Instagram or word of mouth.
Okay, so they can just go right onto your. Do you have like a website for them to look up other stuff you've done, or like what you?
I don't.
So just go to your Instagram and DM you.
Yeah, and then they'll reach out, and then I just go ahead and send over my resume.
I really hope, that seems so risky. It seems like so many dick pics are gonna get through. It just
because it's pretty obvious. It's like with who contacts me. You know what I mean? I could judge immediately from the profile, and to know, you know, there's not much screening that needs to happen.
Sure, fair enough. Well, I think we're almost out of time here. We talked about 5-year plan. What's the immediate goal? What's the next goal?
The immediate goal is to just keep working my butt off and, you know, making and saving so that I can get to a point where all my focus is in, you know, holistic practices or just solely on the sports medicine. But, you know.
And you will travel for this. I know you travel a lot, right?
Yeah, I do.
So
during the season, I sometimes travel with a couple of my clients so that I'm literally there. Don't eat this. Okay, get up. Come on. You know, and I'll even down to the smallest things. Like I will be on them. Okay, your hydration timing. Okay, time to do the H-spot. Time to do your and I'm literally on them, babysitting them.
And then you still have time to have these 9-inch eyelashes and nails. How do you do this? How is that possible?
They're not 9 inches.
I mean, hey, let me have this. Those are 9 inches.
They're not 9 inches. No, the nails, you know, I have to keep them short because even when I'm like lifting and stuff, I had to, you know, keep them short. So I don't even have like fake nails. They just put like gel over it.
Well, that's...
So they're not that long.
Another hazard of being a beautiful woman in fitness. Thank you so much for coming.
No, appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Do you want to give your Instagram handle so people can reach out if they want to?
Yeah, 1,000%. It's just my name. It's Britt Santangelo with 1 T.
Britt Santangelo. You heard it here, folks. Thank you for coming out.
Thank you for having me.
You're the best.
Just stop when I'm driven, no pit stops. It's home, I ain't playing like a 6-5. Pissed off.